Yes, no matter what your watch tells you or what that clock on the wall tells you, it is 8:20. So thank you once again for allowing me into your presence today for this conversation, this newly observed discussion about resilience. So keep in mind, this is not about my resilience, not even about your resilience. It is about our collective resilience, meaning the whole construct, my, if you will, call it a philosophy, or even simply my passion to share, yes, my personal observations and experiences and to communicate that to you, not to convince you of this is the best thing ever or something you couldn't do for yourself. I mention it in the terms and the construct of resilience because my proposition to you is that we all have that within us. Not just as a cute thing to have or a superpower untapped yet, but in a way it kind of is. Meaning, I would consider it as a common superpower untapped because it is within all of us. However, many of us haven't taken the time to define it for ourselves, to activate it, to reason with our understanding of it, and more importantly, and this is essential and why I do this every day, because I see this quality, this talent, this grace of resilience as something that you and I have individually and also collectively, but also it serves to connect us more than anything in this world that will ever serve to distract us, to separate us, to distance us, or to put us at variance or at odds with each other. And as you've noticed probably over the past, 5, 10, 20 years, that's been the evolving or devolving actions in this world to find ways to separate us based upon wealth or poverty, color of our skin, color of our thoughts, actions we take, actions we don't take. Just as examples, those kind of things have been exacerbated and highlighted and presented to us every day. Every single day, we're getting broadcasted with stuff, non-news, disservice of information that doesn't help us to connect with each other. It puts us at different odds, different corners, and then come out fighting when we sense an aggression or being taken advantage of or losing something. Always about devolving or moving into our separate corners of defense. Not that offense is better, but how can we understand and listen to each other instead of taking up swords and guns and hurtful words to make our point and to come out on top, as they say. So this resilience that I speak to you of, it's not about mine or yours. And I say ours because it is the common power and force that neither you nor I have created. But we've been offered the opportunity to feel, define, and then put into action an understanding of what it means to be, human, but more importantly, what it means to be a spiritual being at our essence. And I keep repeating this part in most of the episodes about the essence, the core, the commonality, not the commonality of thought. No, I'm not talking about group thinking or being part of the herd. I'm talking about how you and I got here separately, individually, but from the same source and inspiration. To keep it on a more basic description or analogy, and an actual part of our bodies and of the spirit that brought us here, I often come back to the heart, the heartbeat, the spark of life that initiated and indicated you to come forth in this world. Now, you can choose whatever you decide as your essence. I tend to refer to that as the God, the Allah, the Buddha, whatever you call your higher power, or even your universal subconscious mind. However you choose to define it for yourself. I've used all those terms almost interchangeably because I want to point out at least some ways to maybe we can not agree. We can concur on we have a commonality how we got here. And that's what I'm trying to emphasize to you in every episode. That comes from, it then gives us the access to this thing called resilience. So while that term may not, jazz you today or get you excited, I want you to at least consider this aspect of how you engage the day, how you engage this moment. And then on top of that, as you perhaps include me further into your conversations with yourself, with your higher power, with your friends and foes and colleagues or whatever, I hope you can consider applying that idea, a little seed of an idea, and see if it grows into who you know who you are. And then, obviously, one of my intentions is to help you to appreciate your own purpose, your own message, your own voice, not the job you have or the job you don't have, not the money you have or the money you don't have. It's way deeper than that. Not in terms of intelligence, but in terms of simplicity and how we got here and why we're here. Now, that question, why, we can never, ever answer. I think, I observed that we should accept the fact that we are here for a purpose and with a message to deliver. And that's what I do in each and every episode. Now, whether this helps you or not, I will never, ever know that. I do know one thing. It helps me to then bring forth and refresh and stoke that inspiration called resilience. Until the next time we have an opportunity to exchange our energies, please stay present, stay current. No matter where you are in this world, please remember, it is always 8:20.